What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. In this 10-part series, I'm going to teach you guys how to start riding motorcycles from scratch. My name is Will, and I'm the founder of Motorcycle Mastery, and I created my ebook as well as my course to help out brand new as well as intermediate riders go from zero to hero in under 90 days. While I'm still working on my course, and it's going to be available sometime in February, March of 2025, the ebook is available to download right now. But anyway, in this first video, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get on the road. The first thing I want to talk about is your reason for wanting to ride a motorcycle. Because the decision that you make early in your riding journey is going to make a huge impact on the type of motorcycle that you're going to end up buying. But regardless of which direction you're going to go, I do have a couple of motorcycles in mind that hopefully you like, but the possibilities are kind of endless because there's a lot to choose from, and we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. I remember sometime back in 2016, I decided to come visit San Diego just to see what it was going to be like, because I was at the end of a relationship and I wanted to start life brand new and just get a different perspective for everything else, because I used to live in New York and I lived there all my life, so California was the polar opposite. And I was interested in beautiful weather and the ability to kind of enjoy my hobby any time of the year I wanted. And so I made my decision to move out to California in 2017. And when I came here for the vacation, up and down Highway 101, I saw so many cool riders with their cool sport bikes, wearing cool gear. And I was like, I want to be like that guy. I want to ride like him. So in the back of my mind, I already knew that if I decide to move out here, I wanted to ride a motorcycle. I believe about 2 years later, I got my motorcycle license. And from that point on, it's been history. At the moment, I've done about 12 motorcycle courses. And I've ridden probably more than 50,000 miles on about 9 different motorcycles over the span of 5 years. So I've quite a bit of experience, and the journey that you're going through at the current moment is a journey that I've already been through, and so I have some experience on it. And with my input, I think I can make this a fairly simple process for you. So as for me, I've always been interested in riding sport bikes, and that's because I love going to the track, I love riding fast, and I like a motorcycle that handles very well and is lightweight, easy to toss around. But it does have its negatives as well, because the motorcycle is very aggressive, so you need to be in shape, and basically transforms your body into a pretzel. So if you're not into that kind of thing, this may not be right for you. But good news is there's loads and loads of different types of motorcycles. So in the beginning, the reason why you want to ride a motorcycle is going to be very critical, and I would choose very wisely in the direction you want to head towards. So as an example, if you're interested in following the path that I've taken, then you're going to start out with something like a Yamaha R3 or a Ninja 400. Those are the best bang for your buck motorcycles at the current moment, because as an example, you can get them for about $3,000 to $5,000 used. I would not, as your first bike, I would not buy brand new at all. I would definitely buy used. And then when you're ready to sell it, you can literally get back almost the same amount of money, or exactly the same amount of money, depending on how much you initially paid for it. And you know what? You're not in the negative. Now you can take that same money and upgrade your motorcycle to something different. So essentially, you got that bike for free and you practiced on it as your first bike. This is why it makes sense to go for something like that. But if you're not into going towards the direction that I'm going towards, and you're doing this mostly for commuting, or you want to basically have a first and last mile motorcycle to get back and forth to work, etc., and on an occasion basis you want to have some fun here and there, then you can get something like a naked motorcycle, or like something like an upright motorcycle like a Harley, or anything for that matter. A naked motorcycle is the equivalent of what I'm riding right now, except it's got higher handlebars, it doesn't have a front fascia, and so you could take multiple directions. So after you've chosen your motorcycle, regardless if it's the naked route, the full sport bike route, or something like a Harley or a Cruiser or anything for that matter, the next thing that you have to think about is gear. The good news is that there's a plethora of different types of manufacturers out there providing gear that is kind of flashy and cool, like the one I'm wearing right now. I have a Dainese on, as you can see. My gear is on the premium expensive side because just my gloves alone, they're about $300, $250, $300. When it comes to protection, I spare absolutely zero expenses, and my recommendation for you is to follow the same logic. Please, 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 when it comes to your safety, especially as a brand new rider, or even if you have experience under your belt, do not compromise your safety. When I first started learning how to ride, in my very first year, I got into my first accident, and my gear not only saved my life, but I walked away completely unscathed. However, I did have 1 or 2 bruises. I believe one of them was in my foot, even though I was wearing racing boots. And this was like the ultimate protection. And then the other one was a little bit of a rash on my gloves. Even though I'm wearing $300 gloves, the gloves ripped, and that's where the rash came from. So even with very, very expensive gear, you can get a couple of road rashes here and there. So you're not 100% bulletproof, but the recommendation is not to go the cheap route. I would not recommend a pair of $50, $60 gloves. They're very thin. They're not designed with protection. My gloves at the knuckle area and at the finger areas have carbon fiber. There's just so much technology built into this, and these gloves, as well as my jacket and my pants, you know, like they're like MotoGP status, where the top riders in the world going at extreme speeds wear this kind of stuff to stay alive and stay protected. So you don't necessarily have to spend exactly as much money as I'm spending, but don't go the cheap route. I would probably go the mid-tier route, and there's lots and lots of different companies that you can choose from. I have Dainese, as I mentioned before, but you can go the Alpine Stars route. There's Sedici. God, there's so many. If the gear you buy doesn't have back protection or elbow protection, where there are hard surfaces, so if you land, those areas don't protect you, then I wouldn't even look into it. So make sure that whatever gear you buy is CE level 2 protected, and you have hard surfaces. Like I got carbon fiber on my gloves, I got hard bits on my elbows as well as on my back. So this is what to look for when you're looking for gear, and that's my overall recommendation for you. And let's not forget, when it comes to pants as well as riding boots, do not wear sneakers, okay? I don't care if your favorite moto vlogger is wearing it. He's a squid. He does this for a living. If you're watching that type of content thinking, oh, they're doing it, so I'm going to do it too, you're making a very, very big mistake, because those guys are doing it for content and for views, and that's not what I recommend for you. So wear purpose-built riding boots and wear purpose-built riding jeans. Now I want to talk about budgets. Your budget is going to consist of the cost of your motorcycle, the cost of your gear, the cost of your education, which is probably going to be the MSF course in the beginning, and let's not forget insurance. Haha. Yes, my friends, you gotta have insurance for your bike. So as far as your entire budget, if you are a young person, your budget is probably going to be somewhere around, I would say, the $5,000 to $7,000 range. But if you're an older person and you got some money, you could increase that a little bit, but I would recommend that you don't increase it by that much. If you do increase your budget, make sure that the increase is going towards your gear and nothing else. And so that being said, we're going to base this budget off of something that I would start off on if I were to start from the beginning. And that would be something like a Ninja 400 or a Yamaha R3. Those are absolutely fantastic bikes for beginner riders, and that's what I would recommend for you. A lot of people would say, oh no, you're going to get bored of it, but don't listen to those people. And in my next video or two, we're going to talk about why riders quit in their first year of riding, and those type of people belong in that category. If you want to do this the right way, just follow these directions, but you can modify it just a little bit, but don't go too far from it. So as your first motorcycle, I would spend anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000. As I mentioned before, if you're buying a used motorcycle, such as an R3 or Ninja 400, those motorcycles are absolutely bulletproof. As long as you get them with pretty low mileage, like for a motorcycle of a Japanese caliber, 10 to 12,000 miles is really nothing. So if you get something with 10 or 12,000 miles, you're not breaking the bank. You can get something 3, 4, 5 years old. It doesn't really matter. because the newer generations, they just look a little bit different but function absolutely the same. And you're going to use this motorcycle anywhere between 6 to 9 months. And we're going to talk about this later on in future episodes about different ages and which motorcycles to buy and the CCs and stuff like that. But for now, this is all you need to know. As far as your gear, your pants are going to cost somewhere around $200. Your gloves, if you get some good ones, anywhere between $150 to $200. Your jacket is going to be anywhere between $300 to $400. And your helmet, I would get a really good helmet. So expect to pay anywhere between $500 to $600 for a really good helmet. Make sure it's Snell certified, and your helmet is the most important thing next to your motorcycle's tires. So don't forget that. The next thing is insurance. Insurance can cost as much as $20 a month, all the way up to $150 a month. So as an example, I'm 49 years old. So for liability, I pay somewhere around $49 a month with some decent coverages. But that's because I've been riding for a long time and because I'm older. So depending on your age, that could be a little bit different, and of course depends on where you live. And the last thing on this list is going to be your education, because that's going to be extremely important, especially in your first year of riding. Now you see, you can learn how to ride on your own, and you can find a way to get your endorsement without taking the MSF course. However, the MSF course provides you a motorcycle, and they provide you instructions on how to ride your bike. Now, just a fair warning, the MSF course instructors are okay. They're not the best, okay? So when you go there, you're not going to really learn much besides learning how to ride a motorcycle. And just like me, you'll probably forget about 80% of everything they taught you. But the good news is you're going to learn how to ride a motorcycle in a controlled environment. And they're going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. But just keep in mind, you're going to be there with 100 other people. So the attention span of these instructors are going to be scattered amongst many different people. But the good news is that you do get a little slip that says that you took the MSF course, and then from there you can go get your motorcycle endorsement, which is probably the written portion of it. But you did pass. But after the MSF course, you do get the check mark for passing the actual riding section of it. So that's that. However, your education should not stop there. That's why I'm offering the Motorcycle Mastery course. And the Motorcycle Mastery course takes it above and beyond the MSF course, because the Motorcycle Mastery course teaches you rider psychology. It teaches you road survival. The good news is it's a fast track to your success, and as your personal mentor, I can help you avoid a lot of the mistakes that new riders make when they first start learning how to ride a motorcycle. But the MSF course is your starting point, and that's where I recommend you go first. So now let's talk about in which order you should do everything. Don't do it like I did, which is to buy a motorcycle, practice in the parking lot, and then hurt yourself. And then, well, I didn't really hurt myself that bad, but still, it was a stupid decision. And then get your M1 license, and then finally, after you do that, go get your gear. So these are the steps that I would recommend for you. Number one, sign up for an MSF course ASAP. After you sign up for the MSF course, you're going to have 2 weeks to really think about what kind of gear you want to buy. Go straight into your local motorcycle store or purchase online. Revzilla is probably the best place that I would recommend. Or if you want to check out my gear, links down below. And then purchase your gear. That would be step number one and step number two. Step number three, don't start looking for a motorcycle right away. Take your MSF course, learn how to ride, because when you're taking the MSF course, there are going to be a load of different bikes that you can learn from. So see if you can ride as many of their bikes as possible, because everybody takes turns, you know? You'll ride one bike and then you'll get off and you'll ride another one. And that's what I would recommend for you. Get to ride many different types of bikes and figure out what's your favorite bike. And then after that, once you take the MSF course, go and get your license. Once you get your permit and your license, that's when I recommend you go look for a bike. And the bike, as I mentioned to you, get something that is easy to ride, get something that's easy to manage, get something that doesn't weigh a whole lot, because in the beginning, everything will be brand new to you. You don't want to make a mistake, drop the bike, hurt yourself, get into an accident. So many bad things that can happen in the first year of riding a motorcycle. Why go through all that stuff? And plus, you're gonna get back every single dime that you spent on the motorcycle anyway. So why does it really matter if you take the time to do it right for the first 6 to 9 months at least, and then after that you can upgrade to an 1100 liter bike or anything for that matter, if you know what I'm saying.
If you're a young adult and you're not dirt riding and you want to get on the street, take a class. You know, start with a small CC, get a bike that you can get your feet on the ground, something that's not going to freak you out. You know, if you're not going to do all of that, just don't go crazy. Like if you've never ridden a motorcycle, don't get, you know, a sport bike that's got a lot of horsepower. Be comfortable on it. Don't get too much power that, you know, it can overwhelm you too quickly. And, have fun.
What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Anyway guys, the type of stuff that we talked about in this video are things that weren't really explained to me in the beginning, so I really hope that this was very helpful for you. And if you want more tips like this, please make sure to download my Motorcycle Mastery ebook. Links are down below and it's 100% free. And I just created a brand new Facebook group, so I want you to join that as well. Links are down below for that as well. And in the next video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to ride your motorcycle in your very first year. So this is going to be your first year of riding. Everything is brand new to you. How do you take in all this information? And what do you do in your first year to not only survive on the street, but not crash and have an absolute blast doing it and learn as much about motorcycles in the shortest amount of time? And until then, I'll see you guys later. Peace.